Welcome back to Gourmande Jayne. Summer is here, sun is shining, the flowers are out. It's hard to believe it was snowing in April. I've recently been travelling through Europe, visiting the Ormonde doors, travelling through Italy, France, Spain, Germany, Switzerland, having a most amazing time. Driving through the countryside, all the aromas, jasmine absolute, orange blossom, on my way to Milan. My first port of call was Maxo Rally. If anybody has ever visited this store, they'll know what I'm talking about. It is the most enormous, uber, luxury piece of retail therapy anybody could possibly want. They sell the best of everything and in abundance. The wonderful man who owns it, Augusto Mozzarella, showed me around, and Giuseppe, who is in charge of the perfume department, told me exactly where Ormonde Jayne is going to be placed. We had a great chat, we got on so well, and it was the most incredible experience. Then I made my way across town to a very totally different emporium, a little tiny niche boutique called Prafulla, which is run by Guido. Now this store is really quite different in so much it's a specialty store, only perfume. All the big important brands in the world in niche launch in this shop. After a long day at the office, we all decided to go off for a drink. I was particularly keen on trying a cocktail I'd heard about called the Milano Torino, which these days was actually called l'Americano after James Bond. Apparently, it's the first drink he orders in Casino Royale, and it was the first order I ordered too. I can highly recommend it. Campari, vermouth, orange in a nice highball glass. It was a lovely evening in Milan. In the morning, we all took ourselves off to the train station, and like everything in Europe, a couple of hours away here and there, you're in another country. That's the great thing about Europe. We visited Lugano to meet up with Simona from Dr. Miore. It was a beautiful apothecary, again, it has a most wonderful niche perfume sector to it. And afterwards, we had a lovely cup of hibiscus tea with an orange blossom polenta cake covered in a dark chocolate. I've put the recipe on the Gourmande Jayne website. After Lugano, I took the train to Vicenza, where I met up with Carla Camella in her beautiful, fine boutique. Anybody who knows her, this is a very elegant lady. She actually gave me the lipstick I'm wearing today, which was very kind-hearted of her. I spent the day in the shop, meeting all her great clients, and then afterwards we went off and had a spring vegetable risotto. After a good night's rest, I took a flight to Rome to visit Campo Marzio 70, where I was training, meeting up with the staff. Next door, the most incredible, like what we would call a farmer's market, but it was Italian style, of course, Rome style, far more elegant, very chic, incredible, beautiful, fresh produce, and I ordered this lovely, aromatic tomato and fennel salad. Then, in the evening, I went on to the Roma store 63, and they showed me the most incredible, massive bouquet of jasmine absolute surrounding the shop. The following day, I got up and went down to the train station, took the train to Naples by the seaside. It was a lovely day, the sun was shining. I was visiting Maurizio, who owns Poerio 33, and his colleagues took great care of me, Julio and Antonio. Antonio loves his food. He took me on a gastronomic tour, and I had the most incredible, straightforward, optically fabulous starter, which I'd never seen before, with apple and mozzarella. And it's this particular dish I want to replicate and make today for the Gourmande Jayne experience. So these are all the ingredients that I need to put together my Naples salad, which is essentially an apple cord scooped out with a melon scoop, buffalo mozzarella put into nice little round balls as well, and then we make a nice pesto using fresh basil, walnuts, I prefer walnuts to pine nuts, pinch of salt, fresh garlic, parmesan cheese and olive oil. I've got some lovely Sicilian lemons to keep the apples from going brown. The recipe for the pesto is really straightforward. You want 2 cups of fresh basil leaves. Pack them in tightly into your measure. That's followed by half a cup of lovely Italian fast pressed virgin olive oil. Half a cup of walnuts. I prefer to use walnuts every time. Half a cup of Parmesan cheese. One clove of garlic. Half a teaspoonful of nice molten salt. And a tablespoonful of butter. That's going to make my pesto. I'm going to get a handheld blender and make it into a lovely consistency. Now I'm going to blend the pesto using my handheld blender, a utensil no one can live without in a kitchen. Lovely.
Yeah.
So you need to go out and buy some lovely strong red rosy apples, and we're going to core it. Then this will be the top. We're going to make a little lid. And at the bottom, we're just going to make a little bit of a platform, very thin, just make it straight, like that. Then we want to scoop out the flesh using a melon scoop. We're going to make like little shells. And I suggest, as you put them into there, you put some lemon juice on them to stop them going brown. You want to get it out as much as possible, but be careful that you don't break the shell. So we've made these nice little apple shells from the middle of the apple. Very important to try and keep the apple intact. And then we'll put a little bit of lemon juice over everything to stop them from going brown. And now we're going to scoop out and make some mozzarella balls. So I've scooped out and made little balls with the mozzarella. You can actually buy mozzarella balls if you want to make life easier for yourself, but I do like messing around. And now I'm going to dress my apple, putting in a few of the shells of the apple, a few shells of mozzarella, and we build that around. And you can put some on the outside. Dress your plate beautifully. And then we're going to put our pesto over the top. It smells absolutely heavenly. Lovely. And then we can dress it with a couple of leaves of basil. You could serve it with the lid at the side or the lid on top. I like to serve it like this. That's my Naples salad. I thoroughly enjoyed it on the day and I'm going to enjoy it again now.